Welcome back to the Tidy Hero Maker. This is Mike, and today I want to talk to you about the HP-01 War Dancer, which is allegedly upscaled version of KO of what they also say is Studio Series. Again, I don't have the original, so I can't verify that it is truly upscaled. It's bigger, and it's a pretty decent size for mainline. Might even fit in with your masterpiece too, so that'll work. But anyway, this is a pretty good representation. I like the shininess and all the stuff. We'll get into all of that, but this is a review sample sent out by Shozy Store, so thank you, Shozy Store. I'll link down below where you could get yours, but I believe they're already sold out. I just got it today, and I believe they're already sold out, but we'll get into the good and bad and pluses and minuses, and there are actually some really good things they did with this. We'll get into that coming up. Here's the box, here is the package, and there's the back. It's a very clean looking car. Very clean. Looks pretty nice. And then, hold on, what's this? This is a relic. Archaeological. It belongs in a museum. So back our ancient civilizations would use these things to like teach others how to assemble something or a process or how things are done. They're called instructions, and it's from a very lost era, a lost time. And nowadays there's usually a QR code to nowhere, but I don't see it on here. We actually got instructions. Now I was gonna use that joke with my beat drill, but I might still do it. And here he is out of the package, the HP-01 War Dancer. So I don't know if he so much dances more roles. Now I've always been confused by the whole idea and concept of this figure because of the fact that he looks like he's on like roller skates, and I always felt like this particular character had stability issues no matter who made it. But I don't have I don't have a whole lot of these. I just see it and I go, well, the way it's designed, it looks like it has stability issues. Now this one does, but it wouldn't have stability issues if it wasn't for I got the stand in here to help him stand. But he wouldn't, but there's one problem, and oh my gosh, this is very loose. And I don't know if it's on, the official or what. But this is pinned, and there's no way to tighten it. So if it was a screw, you could just tighten it. Now the good thing is that the left one is pretty tight, so you can use the heel spur, and it can stand on its own because one of them's tight enough. So but I mean, when you start getting in dynamic posing, it's not going to work with dynamic posing. So straight up, like, that's an issue with it. And they knew it was an issue, so they gave you the stand, which I'm okay with, by the way. I mean, you got a solution, but at the same time, it is kind of weird that it's just because it's too loose. And if you transform it, I mean, I'm sure after transforming it a few times, this will probably loosen up too, so we'll lose that avenue to boost it. So there we go. You'll have to be on a stand probably forever. All right, so I guess we'll get into the accessories. He comes with two of these guns. Let's call them tailpipe guns, and that works. Tailpipe guns. And then we have these, which are, I don't know which one you'd use on which side, but they're basically, you can use them as knives. He'll probably take the gun out of there. You can use them as knives, or you can, like on his hands, on his fist knives. Plug it in, something like that. You can do that with it. And then they're going to be like part of the door. So I am not a fan of those. I never really was. And they kind of use that a lot in the Bayverse era. But I was wondering what else you do with them. Where else do they go when you're not using them? But anyway, so there's that. Articulation, the head is on a ball joint all the way around. Let's see. Don't have... Can we get in on that head? Okay, I guess we're not getting on that head that well. Shoulders are kind of compromised by the design there. It's not really their fault. That's just the design of the character. You can move them down and get a little range out of it. So that's pretty much all you're getting. Bicep swivels there. Is it double jointed? Nope, single jointed. You can do in and out, just one giant chunk of a hand. Remember, this is the design's originally made for Hasbro mainline, not Masterpiece. And for 25 bucks, not bad. You do have the ab swivel, but no crunch. I'm not getting a crunch out of it. Then you can go all the way out to the 90. You can go forward like that, and backward like that, and double jointed, sort of double jointed knee. If you want to consider all that, but I think that's more for the transformation. Definitely more for the transformation than it is for see, these joints are nice and tight, and they're, I believe, pinned. Nope, that's a screw. You could tighten that even more if you need to. So those joints are really tight. Where you need it, right in the ankle's not. And then I bet, well, I know you can do some stuff like this. So if you wanted to, yeah, you could have him change his feet. Well, I don't think anybody wants that, but I mean, that's a thing you could do if you wanted more foot options. All right, here's what APC is doing with their Transformers Prime series. Now, I'm not sure if those are considered upscaled or they're one-to-one either. But in my mind, like, I'm grouping these together. I know they're not the same era. They're not the same show. One's a movie, live action. One's a show. But, like, product-wise, it feels like these should scale somewhat together in my mind. And so he is kind of small for them. But, yeah. So from what I have, that's what I think would scale. Let's give it some Masterpiece comparison. And there is next to Magic Optimus Prime. The only thing really Bayverse that I've got that would compare, I do have Yolo Parks, the AMK Pro figure, but even that, like, they're not meant to scale together. So this, I think, is a good measuring stick to see how tall he is. All right, transformation. We are going to pull all this off, and there is. I've got to get that off. This, I will say this, the stand clips in really tight to his inner rears. It does clip in tight. All right, so I think we need to flip this stuff around. Is that right? Just to get started with some flipping. And then we're going to start opening up the backpack. I think is a big deal here. And open that up. And that is the rear. So it's going to need to go to the back like so. And we're going to start working on some of this. This is going to come around to the front, kind of fold around, and we're going to form this segment. Now, I will say this, which, you know, it's one of those things I wanted to say. I thought that the alt mode is where this shines, and because I still do, but I also don't want to, like, reveal how I feel. Reveal the shield? No, reveal the feel. This can unclip. It unclipped on me earlier, really easy. All right, just get up right up underneath there to get that to unclip. But you need to keep this down as you're folding this up, and then you're going to fold this into here. Tab it in. Tab it in, tab it in. Which feels, it's just getting it lined up. And that's why, like, all these kind of Bayverse ones are. It's a bit of a shell forming kind of mentality, but it works. And I actually feel like this is a lot very related to alternators. It just feels just like alternator transformations to me. Old school. And there, that tab's not wanting to line up. And it could be slightly offsides. Let me wrestle with that tab for a second. All right. Yeah, it tabs in fine. It just needs a little pressure. I don't want to force anything and break it, so I pulled it back. One thing I did feel, you should have probably done this before. It's not really the end of the world, but you need to rotate the dashboard around. You're going to see how it already kind of lines up really well with the doors and all that. So that's going to work. Then you have to go the next step here and rotate this, and then bring the grill out. So you can see it coming together right now. Come together right now. And I feel like I should be tabbing something into that, but we're gonna bring it down a little more. Now we got to do some stuff with the front end, and so this is going to fold up into here, and then this is going to rotate both directions to form the front end here, and then it's going to tab in, and we're going to do that on the other side too. And these tabs are very firm. I think, well, I know it has to be, so it can hold into place really well. Let's see if we can get this side lined up just right. And I'm starting to wonder, should I have done the rear first? I really don't think it matters, but I do start to wonder. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So we're gonna fold this in to here, and you do. These should connect too, so that would make it helpful. So this folds around, and this is why we have the stability issues. But anyway, let's get all this tabbed in. And, you know, we're going to tab these together, I believe. It feels like, yeah, those tab together. And then we have to kind of flatten everything out and make sure everything fits just right into there. Then we've got this, there's like it's a tab and a notch, but we might have to pull that out to get the rear together. Now we got to fold this up and get into the rear. All right, I played around with it just a little bit off camera to make sure I know what's going on with this. So what you need to do is open this up and fold it all the way around so you can fold this in. And then what we're going to do is we're going to drop this down, and we're going to put this up into place, more or less. So we want to get this past that, and it comes way down here, and you got to keep it straight. And then it's going to get up here into the wheel well. We'll reconnect all that. I kind of figured we were going to have to reconnect that. Now we got to put the guns in here. Now the guns are keyed per side. So actually, no, it's going to go like this. Is that right? So we just pull this out, plug the gun in for the exhaust, gunzost, X gun. And so it'll double tab. So it tabs into here and tabs into there, and that's solidifies that. Parts forming. Well, I don't mind parts forming or integration. Actually, I don't even know what it's tabbing in. What's tabbing into what? I just know it's holding. So that's how it is. Now we got to go back here and get all this tabbed back in. This works. And then I guess this one's going to go on this side. Let's put it in here. Let's see. There it goes. I'm going to try to, it's going to have a gap no matter what you do, but I want to try to get it as minimalistic of a gap as possible. And then get this one in here. And that one's going to fit the same way. Go for it. Connect 4. All right, I'm gonna clean it up. We'll have a look at it. All right, so here's HP-01 War Dancer in alt mode. That is a beautiful, beautiful alt mode. Chevy, is that a Corvette? Yeah, it looks nice, sleek, good-looking vehicle. And to say this is like based on the Studio Series design, I mean that's to me that's quite impressive. It's like mainline design, very, very impressive. So I do like. Well, I mean, you kind of still see the bottom shows through, but really, from the right perspectives, you get everything you need. Literally, it almost looks like a model kit on your shelf there. And at the end of the day, you do have this diagonal line that you can't completely get rid of here and here. Little bit of stuff like around the hood, like that's all that. That's going to be on any car. Then even back here a little bit, it's okay. So I mean, it's pretty clean the way they did it. It's kind of shell forming, and I'm fine with it. If the result in the alt mode, and that's where I feel like these Bayverse designs lend themselves the best in alt mode. It's fantastic, and it kind of, in a way, is homage to the original toy line from 1984 because they did focus on the cars the most, the alt modes the most. But yeah, it looks pretty good. It looks very good, actually. You can't compare mainline to Masterpiece. Some people have rules that they live by, but you can watch my channel and watch me break them. I can break your rules for you. You can live outside the box. But yeah, there it is. That's how it looks. This is that official? Yeah, it's got hard wheels. It's not rubber, so that's official. The KO has an upgrade. I mean, most time KOs are upgraded. That's MMC. So you get to see size. I feel like he's on the big side, bigger than what we're getting with some of the Masterpiece in the alt mode. All right, so this is my look at the HP-01 War Dancer. It is their take on a KO oversized Studio Series Sideswipe. Is it Sideswipe? And I've got to say this. The characters always kind of confused me with the wheels as feet. That was never like something I understood or got. I always liked the alt mode, though. It's a very impressive alt mode. And with that, I am going to keep this in alt mode. And I am going to pull this out for comparisons with my Masterpiece, just for fun. I mean, I don't see why not. It sounds like a fun thing to do with this because the alt mode really shines. The bot mode, they included a stand so you can stand. So, I mean, that's cool. And I understand character-wise, like, I get it. I'm not, like, criticizing them for that. I would have liked the pen to have been pinned tighter or just go with a screw with that foot so that the heel spur works for standing without the stand. They wouldn't need the stand if the feet were tighter and the heel spur was able to do its job. But aside from that, I think, because I looked up online what the original one looked like, I think this is like a shinier, more silvery version, if I'm correct. And the one I saw didn't look as shiny. A standard one, and it didn't, but that might just be that might be a whole other thing because I do not have a huge massive amount of knowledge when it comes to the Bayverse stuff, but I like it anyway. Shozi, I'll have a link down below where you might be able to get yours if they come back in stock, and I think sometimes with this stuff it comes in and out of stock, but I want to thank Shozi for sending it out. Let me take a look at it, and I will be using this in videos for comparisons going forward. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Tideair, hang around.